Talks with Fawole, the wizard, and we have the amazing, wonderful, intelligent. What's the word when you get engrossed in something? Can you think of when you get engrossed in something? Because when I saw you perform, I was like, you had me.
I mean, I want to say enchanting, but that sounds arrogant to
No,
say.
yeah. Enchanting, I like that.
Sorry.
Enchanting, amazing. Kate Griffin. Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
That's a good introduction. Thank you.
Right,
I got proper gassed up.
After the first one, it was alright. I'm getting hot now. I just put it jump on.
It is more.
Kate, what's up?
I'm good. Yeah. No, I'm really well today. Yeah. How are you?
I'm alright. It's the first day back from a long holiday. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
I knew
happy
you
to
went
be
away. Where did you actually go?
I went to Colombia.
Oh, cool.
Colombia, yeah.
Yeah. How was
I
that?
was talking about you. It was alright.
Oh,
I was talking about you. I was talking about you. If we digress later, we can digress later. But I was talking about you.
Okay.
You know where I haven't been is where you're from. Sorry if my niece touched
No, it's fine.
big on knees. Scotland.
I'm not from Scotland, but I'm close. I'm
Wow,
close.
okay.
So I'm
I didn't know.
from Newcastle. So like,
Okay.
yeah, like top of the country.
Sorry.
And then we sound like so similar.
Yeah.
So like whenever I'm like down here, a lot of people like they'll either think I'm like Scottish or I'm Welsh because the
Yeah.
accents are so the same.
So you're Geordie.
I'm a Geordie. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always thought. Wow, I do apologise.
No, it's fine. It's
Wow.
like, it's so close that we're like an hour away from Scotland. So it's not, yeah.
And you
No.
know when I seen you doing like your poetry
Uh-huh.
and your energy and everything,
Yeah.
not that you haven't got the classic, but you know a bit like Brave, or you know that Scottish tenacity.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
Geordie's got the same kind of energy as well.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, nah, get out me last.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. I must have said it before, but you never heard it. Seriously.
Got it. Yeah, no, I accept that. Like, I love Scotland. Like, we used to visit all the time because it is so close.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Geordie.
And you remind me just like, because you're so beautiful, right? And you've got that kind of like, wanted to be oxymoron, the English rose kind of look.
Oh,
you know, like
yeah,
in
yeah,
Scotland,
yeah.
you have like nice black
It's
hair,
similar.
nice skin. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
like quite pale,
yeah.
dark hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit like, not Amber Lou. Amber Lynn was from France, wasn't she? She was France. But just remind me of some. Let me look that. Yes, Kate. So, how do we know each other?
Well, we know each other because we first met at Lex's workshop.
Yes.
So yeah, and I was just chatting to you, like Mike, about it. Because I was there kind of by chance because George let me know it was on.
Okay.
So I wasn't even into poetry as much then. But then I ended up like meeting you then, like meeting a lot of like people in the poetry kind of scene at that workshop. Yeah, I need to go back actually. It's just like times and stuff. But yeah, I met you there, and then I got to know you a bit better at your event, like Poet Behind the Mic.
Performed?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How long have you been writing poetry?
It's weird because like, okay, so when I was at uni, I really liked poetry. Like that was what I read the most. That I always imagined myself like, oh, I'm gonna be a poet. And I dabbled in it. Like I wrote a few poems. I performed at like maybe 2 places. And then I stopped because I got really into short fiction. And I just wanted to be like a fiction writer. I wanted to write a novel, wanted to write short stories. So I didn't perform or write poetry again until literally this year. And it would have been like, to be honest, like a month before Lex's workshop. That's when I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to get interested in poetry again. Like maybe I'm going to try it out. And I'd like obviously met George because George was coming to my fiction workshops and they were like, well, why don't you try poetry? And just like see how it goes, like come to like some workshops, come and like perform or something like that. And yeah, I got more open to it. I think that it was just, I was blocked off because I thought like, oh, I'm solid with fiction. Like, I know how to write fiction. I enjoy writing it. That's where my passion is. And I couldn't see a place for myself in writing poetry because I felt like my style wasn't spoken word enough, or it wasn't, I don't know, like on the page enough. Like I felt like I was like this in between of things. So I didn't know where I would like slot in, and I didn't have the confidence enough in myself to think of myself on a stage and actually perform. And I kind of just thought like, oh, I'll write it, but I didn't think that I'd actually be able to say it and be able to like own what I was saying as well. Yeah, so I felt like I had some barriers with it, and that's why it took so long to like actually be like, oh, I could do this regularly. I could find like a passion in it. I could write not just for like a one-off sort of thing. But now I feel differently about it. after trying it out a bit more.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what was you studying in uni?
I studied creative writing, so like I started off creative writing film like a splice, and then after the first year, like I dropped film and I just went down to creative writing because I loved it so much more. I was like, I started investing in it, and you know, second year you generally take things a bit more seriously, and you kind of find like, oh, this is where I'm actually good at, and this is what I want to spend my time on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I dropped the film, and then I just went fully into writing, and you did like a mix there. So like you sample bits of poetry, you try a bit of screenwriting, try a bit of fiction and like different kind of forms, and then I more specialized though in like fiction.
Well, you know when you compared to the first time, you said you wrote like 1 or 2 poems in uni, right? You performed it, right?
Yeah.
The compare the first any one of those 2 poems performing to when you performed a poetry event. You've performed at a few poetry events now.
I've done a couple now. Yeah.
So the different space between when you performed then and what you got from it and now, how would you describe that?
That's so different. I was talking to a friend about that recently, because the first time I ever performed, it was really embarrassing. There was like this guy that ran like poetry events at my uni,
Okay.
and then so like he just like started running them, but they would get like, I don't know, like maybe 30 to 50 people in like the crowd, and I decided like I wanted to like sign up and like challenge myself to actually do it. So I went to do it one night, and I remember like being so scared. Like I was shaking so much like on this. Like I had like a bit of paper in my hands, just like wobbling. And I remember like doing it, and like, you know, midway through when you can feel yourself like crying, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm actually like, yeah, like, but actually like your voice it's happening in your voice as well, so you can't carry the words that you're trying to say, and it's like cracking, and you're like, you know, when it happens and you're not even near the end. So it's like when I'm like at least halfway through and I'm like, oh god, I can hear it, and I've still got like a way to go. And it was so,
Was you quite nerves or the piece?
it was the nerves. It was definitely the nerves. Like it wasn't I can't even remember what the piece was, but I don't think it was like this is like a rip out your soul kind of emotional piece. But it was just such a fear of speaking in front of people, and because I was very shy at the time, and like I've been shyer before, but even still then I was like terrified of speaking in front of people in any kind of contents. Yeah, like, and so to actually be like on a stage and be like, oh shit, everyone's looking at me and I've chose to like come up here and they want something good. It did like rockers, and I was kind of like, oh shit, like I actually have to like show something. But yeah, it was a horrible thing, because like it really, when you're in your emotions and you can't control it or like present it in a way that you can get away with, it was just like, I felt embarrassed by it, even though I was like, okay, you've challenged yourself. I did feel embarrassed by it, and it took a lot to do it again, like after that. And like the next time I did it, I was much better, but I still felt that same like big fear, and like you can still hear like crackles of it, but it was better. It was just like that first time was like rough to get through, like, because you're really like putting yourself on the spot.
That the way you describe it is just so perfect, because a lot of people have a phobia of public speaking.
Yeah.
But then when you talk, the way you speak about it, because we both do it, so
Yeah.
it's like when you get up on a stage, you could be in a room with 20, 30, 100, 1,000 people, no matter. When you get on the stage now, you're the focus of their attention. So it's like, it's almost like that Michael Jackson moment in Bad, when they go, and everyone's looking at you, and they're all looking at you, and they're going, go on, show me something.
Yeah.
And sometimes, even if you've got everything prepared, that moment right there, it can crush the best of us. So well done for keeping going and everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow, the way you explained it, it was like I saw the picture and everything.
Yeah.
It's very nice. So that compared to the time when you performed, like away from you, like when you, I still get nerves now. But when you've got a piece, when you've killed it, what about the time when you felt you've killed it for yourself? Explain one of those times to me.
Yeah, so I feel like most recently, I guess, I was at Word Soul, like the other week I was mentioning to you. Yeah.
Big up Word Soul.
And yeah, it was a really good event, and it was I think like it was like just a nice vibe to walk into as well. Like the guy who runs it's very like welcoming. And then I got there, and I'd had like this piece called My Mother Who Eats Light, and I practiced it like a few times, and I started to like write a bit more like recently, and like really I don't know, put a lot more of myself into the poems, and like start writing poems for other people that kind of bring out a lot more passion and stuff. And I think like when I did that piece, there was a lot of, even though there wasn't that many people there, I'd say there's maybe like 20 of them actually. Yeah, so even though there wasn't loads of people there, like when I was saying certain lines, like I heard like their feedback in it, like they were really engaged people, like they were ones who were doing the clicks, they were ones who were doing the ums, and like you could hear their voices and when people like something. And it's one of those ones where I was like, I felt like I knew it a bit better, so I was like, I got to make eye contact with people, I got to see how people were reacting, and that they liked it. And also because I feel those lines, like I believe in those lines that I'm saying, it made me feel like strong about it, like I have something to say. And because when you're like, I've wrote this and it's my thing to say and I know that I'm owning it, then you start to feel more like I have the moment. Like when, even though there's like heads looking at you and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna be good in this moment, it's also like, but it's also my moment as well. It's not just for people to look at you, it's also for you to look out at them and be like, I do have something to give. And as long as I get over that barrier in my head, I know there's something there. It's not just emptiness, like I'm giving from something. I can put something out there. It's just the barrier that's like in yourself that's like stopping you. Yeah,
it's beautiful what you're saying. Like all this, I'm loving it because we're poets and everything.
Yeah,
it's on us when we perform. Like there's a difference between knowing a piece and not knowing a piece. Like owning a piece and not owning a piece.
Yeah,
and giving the piece the real energy that it had within you when you wrote it. But there's a problem. Like, it's not a problem. It's like the same nerves that you spoke about initially you had. They come along in smaller doses.
That's true.
And doubts. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's like me personally. I talk about myself personally now. I may have wrote the piece. It may be like I gotta go like that, but I go because I'm not confident enough to do it for the people. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
but I need to do that and know and own it and do it. So that's what I get from what you said. When we give it our all, when we own it how we wrote it, you feel so much better and you feel it.
Yeah.
And that the clicks and the murmurs, I think it's the connection. Like some rooms have just got such great energy.
That's true.
And you can bounce off that energy and it's just like it works. And
it
some a
fuels
bit colder.
you a bit. Yeah, for sure. Because
definitely.
like I'm sure there's like you probably done like the same poem in like a lot of different spaces.
Yes.
And it's like maybe you delivering it with mostly the same energy, but then you can get different replies back from it. And it depends like what room you're in. You could still be in a full room, but if maybe no one's like giving anything back and you're kind of like, oh, is this actually like hitting? Does anyone actually resonate with this at all? But then you'll go to like a different room, say the same poem with the same kind of energy, and then everyone's like, yeah, like they're rooting for you. So it's definitely like it does influence you a bit. And I think like obviously it's in yourself whether to still be like, even if I'm not getting any of that, it's still in me to perform it the same, because people might be thinking it, they just might not be used to doing those things.
Exactly. You just pulled it out of my head because I've been to events and I'm performing, and because people are so engrossed in what you're saying, they're deadpan.
Yeah.
So they don't like the same. They come off and go, oh my God, it was so great. But they're deadpan. Because you want something back and look at it can affect you. It's affected me before. You're like, I want something, like, or they don't like it, or that word didn't hit the way I wanted to. Like you say, bam, and everyone's still like,
exactly,
But some people get it, but it's crazy, man. There's some crowds they're receiving it, but they don't react until afterwards, and some react in the moment. It's so mad, man. But
it's true, because like I know when I'm watching someone else, maybe I'm not as naturally like super loud to react, but then I kind of condition myself to remember like, oh, I like that line, oh wait, they don't know I like that line, give them a click or something to let them know. But I think naturally I would probably be one of those deadpan people that just kind of sat there and like appreciated it because I'm just there and like watching it. But like when I know like how people work, I try and give like a little bit of something, but that's not everyone. That's not like how everyone naturally reacts.
Sometimes I think as well with poetry, it can take you away, or it could hit you like as in like how I reacted, like someone and that's the clicks. And sometimes it take you away is where you just, I've seen the wizard, I've got some pictures of you at the poetry event, and he's supposed to be filming, but he's just there like that. And he's like, you're engrossed, he's just really listening. And it depends, because poetry is such a wide topic, so much different things to talk about. Depends what ignited you at the time, what kind of like of imagination, fantasy, remembrance. It's so many things, man. So many things. Fictional writing.
Fix my writing.
Fictional writing.
Fictional writing. I write fiction.
What kind?
So I like short stories the most. I've just always enjoyed. I think I like writing short because it's something that I can actually finish within like like a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like it can be self-contained, and I can get to like explore those characters and like a really cool idea, but I don't have to make it this like huge beast of a project like a novel. And I really love like magical realism and literary fiction. So like
Magical realism, like fantasy.
almost like it's like when the world itself might be like completely real, like so it's not like fantasy world where it's like here's like wizards and like here's castles and like dragons and stuff. It's like the world itself can be completely normal, but then there's one element of a thing that's like a bit magical. There was a story that I wrote called The Great Fall. So like the whole world is normal, but then people's memories start to fall out of their ears as orbs. So like there's something
orbs?
that is impossible. Yeah, like they start to fall out onto the pillows. So they'll like forget they're in a relationship. Like an orb will come out of their ear, and then they'll be like they'll forget they're in their relationship. They'll forget like their family's like long passed on lasagna recipe. They'll forget the memory of their dead wife. Like they start forgetting all these things, but like the rest of the world is completely normal. Like nothing else changes about the rest of the world. There's no special powers. It's just that this one thing is magic. So I loved like playing with that because it got me to write about like ideas that were so weird and like wild, and they wouldn't be accepted in like other forms of fiction, but like with that kind of style, it's just like, yeah, this is the one thing that's magic, and everyone just kind of accepts like, oh yeah, that's there, and then everything else just like continues on. And it was a really cool way to like express and like how people are like feeling through those kinds of ideas, and like use like those kind of magic elements to like express like emotions and things like that as well. But yeah, like I don't know, it's been with me like I'd say like from 22 I started really getting into writing.
Do you think 22 years old or 2022?
22 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been like at least like 3 years, nearly 4 years when I've been like writing fiction.
You're your baby, are you 25, yeah?
I'm 25. I turned 26 this month. So,
okay.
Yeah.
In advance.
Thank you.
What day?
25th.
Nice.
Yeah.
You turned 25 on the 25th?
26
Sorry,
on
my
the
bad,
25th.
26.
Yeah.
And last year was 25 on the 25th.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you published anything? Do you have any compilations of your short stories or your poetry anywhere?
So I have some of my short stories are out in magazines. So there's one, the most recent one's in the McNeese Review, but they're McNeese Review, but
McNeese Review
in America, so it's like impossible to like look at because they don't have it online. But I've had a story called Someone Hungry that's published in Quagmire magazine, and that's online and anyone can read it. I've had one published in Driftwood Press. That was The Great Fall.
In what press?
Driftwood Press.
Okay.
That's a Canadian one. Okay. And then it's like on the Aurora Writing Prize that I got shortlisted for Thin Walls. So it's not like a magazine. It's just, but if you go on the website for the Aurora Writing Prize, you can find Thin Walls. And yeah, like, I'm working on trying to like actually publish my own collection.
Compilation.
Yeah. So I'm like pitching agents and things like that. And I was considering starting my own press, but I know a lot of authors that I chat to, they're like, you know, you only get one first book, so try and get
one
first book.
Yeah,
so like try and get an agent first before like starting your own thing. Because then you'll like be able to reach out to people that you wouldn't have been able to yourself.
Start off as it means you carry on.
Yeah.
Start off as it means you carry on, yeah. I lost my question when I was just saying that. You talk about the book and the publishing. Yeah, how did you manage to get, or how easy, or what was the process of you getting your short stories into these international presses? Because you're based here, but you're international.
Yeah.
Press. How did that come about? How did you get that done?
So I was looking at like ways to submit my like writing and get my like stuff actually out there, and I use Submittable, which is like a submission based platform, and that's where most literary magazines worldwide use Submittable. So when I got taught about that, it meant that I could find like loads of magazines, whether it's like UK based, Canadian, American. Submittable. Yeah. And then, yeah, like the majority of literary magazines are using that as like their submission portal instead of using their own website. And I don't know when that happened, but like I've been using it for years, and like that's where the bulk of them kind of operate. So yeah, I would just like sift through them, and I'd go for like the short story ones, but they've got options for poets as well. They've got like competitions on there. Yeah, so like, you can put your poetry on there.
Submittable, coming your way.
But they're really good because they've got like high quality like literary magazines as well as like the brand new ones that are just starting out. Some of them pay for like when you submit something. Some of them pay if they want to publish you. Some of them are like online ones, others are like print editions and stuff. So you've got like a proper range of it, and you can like just like filter through what was valuable to you, really.
Cool. All right. I want to know about what you was like as a kid. But I don't want to ask you that. Yeah, no. Yeah. I still want to go with your.
Has to be saved.
With your. What's your favorite film?
My favorite film.
Well, you said you studied. So when you went to uni, you studied film. But then at the first year, you dropped out, yeah?
Yeah.
You got rid of it and you focused on what you were focused on, right?
I got rid of it because it was more so like, I was interested in film, but it was like this could be cool kind of thing. And it was like kind of like that with both creative writing and film. But when I was actually studying film, I was like, you don't like the day in, day outs of actually like looking at film.
And analysing it and breaking it down. And this and
exactly.
It's a bit long when breaking it down. Just want to watch it.
And a lot of it was like just watching films. In like your class would be watching films and then talking about your opinions about the film. And I'm kind of like, I could do that with my friends. Like like that's studying for me. Like it just felt like it's a bit pointless to have as a uni course when I was doing it. I feel like maybe my favourite film. This was like a favourite film from a long time ago. I really like Fight Club. I love Fight Club because I really liked the novel anyways, but I read the novel afterwards. But I think Fight Club was one of the first films that I saw that I was kind of like, it's so interesting to be plunged into like this kind of character who's completely split, and to like go and to just look at them like mirroring each other, and it just like it really played with like the mentality of people in a way that I'd just not seen before. And I like the intensity. I like that it was literally like these dudes that had like created their own fight club and they'd go about their day-to-day lives acting completely normal, and then they'd just go absolutely insane when they're in that fight club. It just completely built like another world for me. Like I think that is still my favorite film. Yeah, you like it too.
Yeah. What's the comparison between the book and the film?
The book's really good, but I think I remember when I read it, the book had a lot of repetition of things. So like it felt like it was retelling the story within the story. And even though it's a short book anyway, I was kind of like, it could have been made shorter if it wasn't like repeating the same things. But it was good quality. I think I remember it being like, I liked his, like the voice really came through for like when they were narrating it as well. But it's worth reading. Yeah.
What's your favourite book? I like the way you say book. You know?
Oh yeah, everyone.
I like the way you say book.
Everyone latches to that. My favorite book is Diary of a Teenage Girl by Phoebe Glonacker, I think her name is, and it's like a graphic novel type of book. It's quite an interesting one because it's like a really thick book, and it's not like it's not like every single page is like illustrated graphic novel, but you'll have a lot of like graphic in it, like a lot of illustrations, and then you'll have like big chunks of text as well. But there's a film out about that as well. And it details like the life of like this teenage girl back in, I think she's in San Francisco, and it's when she's like maybe like 15 to 17, and it details her kind of life. She wants to be like a comic book artist, and it pulls no punches like with this one. Like it goes into like drug addictions, it goes into her basically like her mom has like a partner, like she has a stepdad or they're not married, but then he also like is in like a sexual thing with the girl, and so it's her looking back at that time and like detailing exactly like what happened, and it really just looks at like girlhood. I call it like gritty girlhood, where it's not just like telling you the flowery sort of stuff you want to hear. Like this is someone's real genuine life. Like this is what happens like from her from a sexual sense. This is what happens from her from like a drug related sense, an alcohol related sense. These are like all her dreams and all her fears, and it really like zones in on it. And I think it was like the most raw kind of look into girlhood that I'd seen when I read it. Yeah.
Okay, well, what was you like as a girl?
What was I like?
I would say you're a woman now. That's like, but it's, you know, I don't want to.
But
like,
like,
the political line. I don't want no trouble, guys. I'm white. Don't want no trouble, right? But yeah, what was you like as a child?
Like how young are we talking?
Let's go back as far as you can remember.
Oh, okay.
Then we can build up from there.
Yeah.
You got siblings?
I've got a half sister.
Okay.
Yeah, she's maybe 32 now. Okay. Yeah, so she's a couple of years older.
Okay. Do you have a relationship with her?
We're not like super close, because we weren't raised together or anything. So it's my dad's daughter. But he would meet us together like sometimes, but also like we didn't see him like super often, so it's not like we got to
create a
form,
bond like that.
yeah, it wasn't like a tight sisterhood kind of bond that it would have been if we were like raised together. And now like she works on cruise ships now, so like her job is quite distant, so whereas before I might see her like once or twice a year, now it's like even hard to kind of do things like that because she's kind of always somewhere else. Yeah. But yeah, we've never been like super close, and that's just kind of like it is what it is. Yeah.
So you was an only child then?
That's how. Yeah, I guess I would say so. Like that's how I was raised anyway. It was like me and my mum. My mum like brought me up. So yeah, which is like I quite like being an only child, but I also kind of always wanted someone who was like around. Like I don't know, just have like a bit more kid company when you're growing up.
No cousins and stuff like that, no?
I had cousins, but again, we weren't close. Like, it's one of those ones where, you know, when you live like quite close to each other, like maybe in the same kind of city and stuff, but because you live close, like you don't make the effort to see each other.
Okay.
It's like that kind of
family. So you around each other, but yeah. Look at that. So what was she like as a girl? As a child?
Yeah.
I'm not scared of political correctness. I just want everyone to be cool.
Yeah. I think when I was like quite young, I was like kind of like into everything. Like I had like a lot of energy and I was quite outgoing. Like when I was like a kid, I was quite outgoing. I really liked, I started getting into like a lot of like goth kind of style. I remember that being such a big phase for me. Like I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. It's so like rebellious and whatever.
Your skin
it's got like a vampire look, which went quite well. But
What age was that?
What age? I don't know. I would say like from like 8 or something like that. Yeah, I started getting into that. But I was
no tattoos, no piercings there.
I did get piercings. I got
At 8?
No, no, like 15.
Jesus.
That's too young. Way too young. But at 15, I did get.
At 15?
Yeah, I got like snake bite piercings, which you can kind of see. Like it takes people a while, but when they see it,
Yeah. You say so much. You can just see them when they're in. It's like
no, but I was also like I was quite sporty as a kid. Like I liked trampolining. I liked doing like any sport that they would try and let me do. Like we'd go to like a little club that had like they just do like sports for children, like little racing games and things like that. And then I think when I got older, I definitely got more shy and more introverted. So I definitely changed. I would say when I went to high school, I definitely changed.
You know what?
Because like I think when I got to high school, that was kind of the age where like it was a big shift anyway. Because like my school goes from like I was 11 when I went to high school, so that means you're lumped in with everyone from 11 to like 18, which is like such a different dynamic from you being lumped into everyone when you're like. I don't know what like normal school is like 5 to like 11. So like you're proper like little kids there.
Little kids,
and then you go and you're with like nearly adults and like proper teenagers. But I think like when I did make that shift into high school, like I lost a lot of friends. Like I'd fell out with one girl who was like my best friend. And when like we fell out, a lot of like those other friends kind of like turned against us, and it meant that I was like quite isolated for a bit of time. And like when you're kind of isolated on your own in that new kind of environment, it does like knock your confidence a lot, because she turned into someone who was my best friend and then started to like bully me and be mean to me and stuff, which is such a huge shift for someone like that you love to then turn into that. And then I think I got bullied pretty heavily by like a lot of like people when I was in high school. No, it's alright.
Kids are fucked up, man. Kids are fucked up. I was bullied a little bit. It's not fucking nice.
Yeah, because a lot of them, like, I don't know if they even like, if you think about it when you're doing that, but also like, it like adds up when it's like, it's not just like one person. It's like, oh, multiple people are telling you horrible things about yourself on a daily basis. Like, it does mess with your confidence, and it is like an uphill battle to then have to like build that, or like to like you lose your natural way of being, because you kind of like just invert a little bit to be like, oh well, I'm not like worth enough to be this kind of way, or I'm not, you know, like you start like thinking horrible things about yourself because of the environment you're surrounded in, and because you're getting multiple sort of feedback from like, it's not just like one person's view. It's like, you're like, oh shit, this is everyone. This must be how everyone would think in the whole world. It's not. But because that's your environment and that's where you go every day, you start to build up that picture like, oh, everyone thinks this way about you. So you like, I don't know, like every time you kind of step out the house, you're assuming it's that's the reaction to you. When it takes you getting out of that certain location, that certain environment, and also like you like believing in yourself, and I guess like
yourself.
and maturing in that kind of.
Like for me, Cobra, when you say that, when I look at you, like I said, I think you're beautiful, I think you're confident. I can see certain things in you. If it's half of what you are now as a child. Like a lot of people bully people because they're scared of them. They're inferior. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could see your beauty, see certain things in you, and they didn't like that. So they, you know, they done those kind of things, and they done like horrible things because of that. When we're children, it's a lot to take on board. When we can analyze it later on, like and kind of understand, if you could understand why things were happening, what was happening, why the kids are doing it to you.
Yeah.
It's I can't construct it into words, but it's a lot. It just brings you back. I'm just saying, from me to you, I think they're bullying you because they felt inferior, because they were scared they are, because all of these kind of negative things within them that they pushed onto you.
Yeah.
In fact, you're sitting in front of me right now and I'm looking at you, I'm, like the things I know about you, 1-5 people there.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you got through it as well, man. Because it's a lot. Like, bullying is not nice at all, man.
No.
And the way it can leave you psychologically,
Yeah.
it's like, I can't explain it. Like, you know when I had the same thing. Cause I've always been outgoing. But people like shut you down for no reason.
Yeah.
Or just be horrible to you because they're not as outgoing as you. And it's just fucked. I want to move on. I'm not sure I'm going with it. But it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Give me some.
Yeah.
Give me some. What's your fondest childhood memory?
Oh, fondest childhood memory. It's always hard when someone asks you like, oh, what's like one of the happiest ones and stuff, because you have to like rifle through.
A bit like get fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I always I remember like a lot of like little adventures with like one of my friends growing up when we were like, I don't know, we must have been like 6 or 7 or something like that. But I think her dad had took us to like, we've got like the place called the Reef in Newcastle, which is like it's just like a little, it's not even like a pond, it's like, but it's similar to like a pond kind of vibes, and you have to like go through like woods to get there. And I remember us like collecting like tadpoles and stuff like that, and just being on like a little bank and like using like these nets to try and like grab like all these tadpoles that were just like jumping out of us. And I remember us like, we'd like hoarded this collection of them, and we'd had just like this little, I don't know, plastic box of tadpoles, and we were like, he didn't have enough seats because it was like a workman's van. He didn't have enough seats for us to sit there, so we were sitting in the back of the van with these like crates of tadpoles that were trying to like jump out, just like sliding away in the van because there's no proper seats. And that like kind of takes me back to like childhood. Just I think it's like the natural kind of vibes. Like you wouldn't really do that like now because you're like, oh well, I have jobs and I have all these things. But back then you're kind of like, I can go and just collect tadpoles with my friends. Bullshit, isn't it?
Did you? I've done that. I remember doing it. And then they changed it to frogs. Like I had them, and they changed. They were all gone. They were all gone. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, they all disappeared, and I don't remember where they went off to. But I just remember them being gone one day.
Yeah.
Mad.
That was like you just brought me back so far because that was like. I enjoyed that. I went down to a pond right near my house, my brother's school, Tufton Park School. Then a pond, tadpole. You should collect them. It was us with nature, and I took them home, and I took them to school, and, and it was just made me so fucking happy.
Yeah,
it was
really
it was just, and it was the smallest of things.
Literally,
the smallest, the simplest of things. And I think I named. Did you name any of them?
I would have, but I can't remember the names.
I remember naming one of them Rambo.
That's a good name.
I remember naming one of them Rambo, and that's how far back it was. I was in primary school, I named it Rambo. I remember it just when it was gone, I was devastated. Yeah. But when it was moving, sorry. Moving on. Do you grab a couple of cards?
Oh, like at random, or do I?
Yeah, you pick them at random. I was
going to say, when did you, do you live in London, or do you live in...
Yeah, I live in London.
Hey, we're going to leave that, you can ask a question.
Was that later?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the wizard. No, that's what brought you down. Pick 3. How old are you? 25.
26. Well, I'll be 26 this month. Yeah, 25 now.
Pick 6.
Pick 6.
Sorry,
Okay.
you're a smart guy here. You're gonna get that. The transition from sorry, do you know like
Oh,
did you ever watch Biker Grove?
No, but I know about it obviously because of where I'm
Yeah,
from.
innit? We used to,
My mum
mate.
talks about it quite a lot.
Yeah, oh mate.
Biker, go.
Go! I knew you were gonna say it. I didn't want to.
Did you watch it?
We all watched it.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Wait.
He's my age. Yeah, come on.
3, 4, 5.
Come on.
Maybe
Yeah, you
I'll
got
get this
water there.
one. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Cool. All right, I've got 6. What do you want me to?
No, not Sophie. Sorry, I digressed with Biker Grove, the pod, the frogs.
So fuck it.
Everything that really like. Because the bullying took me one way, I remember it's good, but then that just took me somewhere else.
Good.
So
It shifted
really
like the
thought-
positive side of the challenge.
yeah,
Yeah, nice.
I won't grit my cheeks and freaking out at me
Hey.
for grinning. What's your favourite quote?
That is a good one. My favorite quote is from Cloud Atlas, and it's now I'm a spent firework, but at least I've been a firework. And yeah, and I like that one because it was someone like at the time of his death, like he was saying that.
That is cool.
It is, and I like him because he's like he's content with the fact that he's been something that can burn and like destroy, and like he's hit like such a peak that he was like, when I was there, I was really there. Like he was really in the moment. He really felt it. He lived his life to like everything he wanted to. And even though it had like its downfall and he had like really shitty times, his just appreciation to be like, I was something that just like completely set alight, like always like stuck with me. I thought it was.
Did you read it?
It was in a film, but there is a book for Cloud Atlas.
No,
I've not
I've
read
seen
the
the
book,
film.
but
Halle Berry's in the film, right?
I can't remember.
I think Halle Berry's in the film.
I just remember that scene with like the
I'm
guy
gonna
that
look at
said it. That's the only bit I remember from that.
I want to
film,
go look
'cause
for that.
It's stuck.
One
with
more
me.
time, please.
Now I'm a spent firework, but at least I've been a firework.
Bam.
Yeah.
Now I must be a firework, but at least I've been a firework.
Yeah.
Bam. Bam. How would you describe yourself?
That is tough.
You can come back to it if you want to.
No, I think I can. Yeah, I think I would describe myself. I'm quite like a determined person. I think recently I started like defining myself actually by saying I've got like workhorse mentality.
Workhorse.
Yeah, like I feel like that's how I was like raised a lot of, just be like, if you run at something for long enough, hard enough, like you'll be able to make it, you'll be able to build it.
Yeah.
And I think I've definitely got that kind of like grind mentality where I always just want to build something. I want to like make something happen. I feel like I'm always like focused on what I can create. And that comes out in like writing, but it also just comes out in like life. Like what can I build? How can I make this thing better? How can I make it more interesting to me? I think that, and also like another, I guess like pillar of who I am would be to be kind as well. I think
Kind.
Yeah, I think that's always like being a key thing that I realized, because when there's been times where I've been treated unkind, it just became in my brain. I was like, if there's something that I'm gonna be, I want it to be kind, and I want to learn how to treat people in like a nice way, and build that kind of environment for them.
Beautiful. I saw that on a jumper once. In a world where you could be anything, be kind.
Be kind, yeah.
It was like, pow, just hit me, just hit me. Simple slogan, but it hit me hard.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ethos, man. Tell me something about you nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's another difficult
Nobody knows my troubles. Yeah, of course, it's difficult. Now we're gone.
Can I say it for what nobody would know that's watching? Probably.
You can say anything
It's
you
hard
want.
to think like
No,
what
you
does
can say
nobody know.
anything you want.
I train jiu-jitsu, which is something that I
Wow.
thought like anyone with poetry side.
Wow.
No.
Wow. You be fucking them up, huh? Look, come here. I'm sorry, Kate. Wow.
Yeah, I've done that for not this January, last January, so like a year and 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I guess like people in like the writing space or like creative space wouldn't know about it. Like if you're in like the jiu-jitsu space, you will. But yeah.
So you must be a year and a half. You must be right.
A bit, yeah.
Very
I've been
naked
doing it a
choke,
while.
arm bars,
Like, I
like
know,
leg
like-
locks, all them things there, yeah?
Yeah, it's one of those ones where the more you train, the more you're like, oh, I'm not good at this, because you're like, you realize how many levels there are. It's such a chess game that you're like, okay, I'm learning more, but then you get more involved with people who are like just masters at it. So then you start to see like all the things that are beyond you. So like when you start off, like I remember like learning a few things, being like, oh my god, I could be so good at this. But then when you're in it like properly and you like train regularly, then you're like, oh my god, the distance gets so much bigger. But I'm seeing like a lot of improvement in myself, and like yeah, I definitely see the growth from what I originally first knew of being like, feeling like it was completely impossible to do, because it seemed like such complex movements, and there's things that when you're watching like your coaches like explain certain moves, you're like, how have they done this? Like, how is this leg here? How is this arm here? And then you start getting into the mind of being able to see what they're going for, and things definitely like pick up, and I feel a lot stronger. I feel a lot more confident at it. But I'm also like, you have like so far to go to like build it up as well. But it's a cool.
How important is it, do you think, for human beings to challenge themselves physically? Because we do it intellectually, mentally, or even you as well. Because you for me, I didn't know about this, but I know about it now. You're benefiting. If you do it for you, then from the way you're explaining stuff, you're actually delving in. You're applying that workhorse mentality to both your writing, your intellect, and your physicality. So like, look, how important it is, do you think, for humans to address that as well as their intellect?
I think it is really important, because it'll, I don't know, like being able to like manage both sides of yourself, whether it's the mind and the body, is like just important, because you'll be able to feel yourself as being capable in both sort of disciplines. And it's just like, it's just a different feeling. You'll get to experience so much more if you're like, okay, this is an uncomfortable challenge. Like physically, this is like, you know, it's not something that you expect. You can get hurt in this thing. Like some things like very heavy, or some things like very challenging for you to like, maybe you have to manage your nerves better. Like, and you'll start to feel physical feelings come from like nerves, or you'll start to feel physical feelings come from pain. It is just another aspect of resilience. And I feel like I see them in paired, you know what I mean? Like you start to see it paired, because like you can go so far into one or the other. There's times where I've went like much more further into like, oh, this is how I'm going to physically challenge my body, and times where I've skipped out on the mental kind of side, or the opposite way around. I like the balance of both, and I think like to completely like build yourself up, you should try and do both of those things. Like, because you can probably get excellent at one or the other, but if you can manage both, then you just become so much more well-rounded and so much more like stronger in yourself, because you'll know that you're not just like a one-track pony where you can just do this one thing. You can just do poetry, or you can just do jiu-jitsu, like, or you can just do sport, or like intellect. Like if you can do both of them, then you'll start to see where you're capable in so many different dimensions.
And then I want to, even though I don't want to be thinking, but how important is it for females to be able to protect themselves and understand levels of self-defense? Because I think it's a level of self-defense as well. You're going to break their shit quick. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, not me. Go away. But how important it is for females, especially this day and age. From your perspective, not my perspective. Go ahead, please.
Well, that was like one of the reasons why I wanted to learn it, because like, I was like, I want to learn a martial art that, you know, not every day I'm practicing, I'm going to get beat up, but like something that's going to help me when I do need to defend myself as well, so I'm not completely clueless. And I think like a lot of like, you need to focus on, a lot of the times you're going to be in positions where you're at the disadvantage, and like as a woman especially, so like you need to be able to, with jiu-jitsu, I think it's a good sport to learn, because it allows you to do things without fully relying on strength. Like strength is useful obviously in it, but at the same time, like you don't need strength to do an arm bar and like break someone's arm. Do you know what I mean?
And that's snap that against it easy.
Whereas like a lot of the time you're focused on like, oh, but I'm not strong enough to do this. Like, how am I supposed to combat someone else? But if you can learn techniques that aren't reliant on strength, then that can help you. You know, like you're not going to suddenly become like so strong that doesn't matter anymore. It just means that removes a kind of obstacle, so like you've got something to like fall back on it.
And most people wouldn't even expect you to come out with certain things. So when you're going for the move,
exactly,
they wouldn't expect it. They're focusing on it, and next thing you got them in a lock. Like, I'm sorry to cut you. I saw a video. It was a tournament, but the guy strangled the other guy with his gi.
Yeah.
And the guy was trying to get out. He could not get out.
Yeah.
Until his eyes went to the back of his head. He was doing everything. And all he had hold of his lip, but he had hold of his gi, but he had his gi wrapped around his thing.
Yeah.
And I understand the concept of that. Like, I know a little bit, but he went for that and he had it. And that was, and the guy who had it, he was just so relaxed.
Right,
He was just pulling, it was just crazy. And the guy just slowly, he was out. He was out cold. Yeah, it's
good to know that you can get something like that just from like certain positions where the other person's going to be more vulnerable.
Yes.
And I think someone had told me like a while back, they were like, to be honest, like even because you're a woman, a lot of the time people don't expect you to have anything to fight back with.
No way.
So they're not expecting anything. Maybe they're expecting you to shout or something, even if that.
Come here.
Yeah.
Okay, and you just, like I said, you're like, hold on a minute, my man.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So it might just be the shock. It might just be the shock of like, they just expect you to do nothing. And even just using that, like, oh, but I have an idea of what I could do, and just get into like a position a bit faster than them because they're expecting nothing to come back.
Yeah.
Then having that puts you in a good position, and then you can start to work things that you know.
Yeah. We could digress in this. I love it. Like, there's that arm, but you know, like, if let's get a bit close to you. You know, like you got me. So you put your arm around my back.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, babe, come here. Where you going?
Yeah.
Like, that one thing, because men love to do that. All them, you know, them,
like
and
the
then the gooseneck.
Oh yeah, the wrist lock.
Yeah, the wrist lock, and then the so you grab my wrist. If I was grab you grab my wrist, don't you? Here, and then that one you can. Do you understand? I don't want to pull it. You feel it because we're sitting down. But if I pull this, you got the that straightness of that bone. You pull against the bone, takes them all the way down.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good. Being to is good. Let's talk about what we was going to talk about. Come on, that's why I hate the wizard. Great minds think alike and everything. Your transition from Newcastle to London.
Oh yeah.
That's what you were going to ask. How did that come about? How beneficial do you think that was for you? I'm not sure if barrels of questions altogether. How beneficial was that for you? How much you miss home, and then what did it do to your mummy when you left home? Sorry, that's one question. If you forget it, I'll go back to him. Because you're her baby, her only baby.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. I left 5 years ago, I think. Okay. So like, I left for uni. So I was torn. I was either going to go to Liverpool or London. And I came and I like looked at both of the unis. Like I spent a day there just to see what they were like, and then I liked the Roehampton campus, and I thought London would have like a lot more opportunities probably for creatives as well. So yeah, I came down to London for uni, and I lived in like halls for a while. COVID was the only time that I kind of like, I went back up for a few months. Yeah, I went back up for a few months, and then I came down. And since then I've lived in like different areas of London, like usually southwest, but I moved east this year. And yeah, like being in London, I think it did, because it was like at that transformational kind of age as well, where you're like, when you're going to uni, it's always going to be like, oh, here's all these new experiences, and here's like the things that you're starting to study and find out about the world. So like, I'm not saying I wouldn't have got that back home, like if I'd picked a home university, but I think the actual act of leaving home was kind of necessary for me, because I wanted to change a lot of myself. And I was kind of like, I was talking about like location and environment when I was growing up in school, and I think in my head I was like, if I went to uni, I always wanted to move away, so I had that space to grow into whoever I could be, and not feel like, oh, I'm limited by who people think I was when I was here. So I didn't want to be like tied down by anyone else's thoughts or like views on it. I want to be like, I can go to a brand new place, like no one knows me here, and then I can just like grow into who I felt like I was always meant to be. So I think like a location change was needed for us. And then yeah, with London, I think it did have the opportunity to like explore in like different creative spaces. Like there's a lot of places I could have went that would never have had nearly as much on. So that definitely like got me into things when it came to like writing a bit more, and it got me a lot of like different friends who I think it was like the best place that I could have made like a lot of friends here as well. And then my mom, like when I told her that I was coming like down to London, obviously like she didn't want us to be.
Was on your leg, hold your leg. No!
I remember like at the train station.
Baby!
Yeah, like I remember at the train station like crying, trying to not cry, like that kind of like place. I knew that she like didn't want us to leave, but also like she was like, I know that there's more opportunity for you there at the same time. and like she adjusted to it like well and everything. Like she comes down to
loves you.
visit. Yeah.
She loves you.
Yeah.
She's gonna.
Yeah.
When someone's rooting for you, even though that part, that separation upset and hurt her, she knew it's for the best. She loves you. She's a true
You
parent.
want
know what
what's
I'm saying?
best for your person. Like
yeah.
when you do love them, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
even if this like hurts me to see
Yeah.
you go, you're kind of like, but I know why and I know that it's right for you.
Yeah. So all that's
I
going
think
for
she
her.
has
So
that mentality,
as
you
much
know?
as her, she,
Yeah.
and it's like parents. When you're a parent, if you're a parent, if you want to be a parent, you know that day's gonna come at some point.
Yeah,
So you know it's
you
coming. Like,
expect it,
yeah, this is you
Yeah.
know, but you're
Yeah.
still a baby.
That's true.
You're still a baby. You're
Yeah.
still a baby. I've forgotten any of the other questions I asked. So it's 4.
Yeah.
That's the first one. You're the last one.
Yeah.
What was
Oh,
the
shit,
other
I
one?
skipped to you. I skipped to you.
No, it's all right. She came down to London.
Yeah.
All right. What do you miss?
Oh, what do I
What
miss?
did you miss about when you came to London? What did you miss about? What did you miss about Newcastle? Because you like the diversity, you liked all these things. What was it? Was there something that you missed?
It wasn't at the start that I missed it. I feel like
I
over
didn't finish these
time.
questions, did I?
Oh no,
No.
but I feel like over time it's like accumulated, and I've felt like a lot more pull towards home lately. Like I'd say in the last year, I felt like that pull back to home, and my dad always said it would come because he like when he was a kid, he was like 15 or something. He was a builder, but they like shipped him to like Holland and like places like that to build. And he said at some point you're gonna love it, but at some point you'll feel a pull to like come home. And I started to feel like recently I was like, oh shit, but I kind of feel like a pull back to it. And I think it's like a missing of, you miss the characters of the people that are there. And that's not to say like there's not those characters in London. I would just say like
Familiarity?
generally, yeah, like a friendliness that's, it's just like a norm, I guess. Like there's a certain friendliness that's a bit of a norm there.
Yeah,
Like
is it
even if it's
almost
like strangers.
Yeah, I know. Almost like not exactly the same, but almost like being in your mother's bosom or being in your house. You know, like your household, your first household when you was a baby.
Yeah.
Where you knew it was warm and you had. Okay, so people talk about food.
Uh-huh.
Right, so I didn't know. We had a guest come on ages ago, and he illuminated this for me.
Okay.
I eat fish and chips because it reminds me of when I was a kid.
Right.
There's certain things that remind me of kid, and that was it's fish and chips. When I was eating fish and chips, I was safe.
Yeah.
I used to eat fish and chips and watch TV and go to bed. So I
Yeah.
was safe. So those kind of like there's things that happen to us as children, or things that we
take
remember
with it.
that makes us comfortable and
Yeah.
they're nice. It's like cake and custard. There's certain things that I just
Yeah,
remember.
true. They've
So
got
I don't know
homely
for
vibes.
yourself what the pool was, but
Yeah.
sorry.
I think it probably is linked to like that feeling of like, oh, it's safe here, or like, oh, it's like I know what this is.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's a lot of me that kind of like does seek new places, and I'm like, oh, I'm allured by it because I don't know what it is, and I want to go into a space that I don't know or have like that comfortability yet. But there's also like something about when I can see it like from a distance, and when I go back as well, I think there was a lot as a kid that I didn't appreciate about home that I can now because I think like I was in an environment where I was like, oh, this is shit, I'm gonna reinvent myself somewhere else where I'm treated better, blah 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 blah. But then coming back and knowing it's not the place. You don't have to view the place as an enemy. It isn't that. It was like you were in a certain situation that made it feel like the place was an enemy, but actually the place is good in itself, and the place has safety in it, and the place is like a lot of beautiful things and a lot of beautiful people as well.
Yeah,
that
fucking lovely
also
people
come
from up
out
there.
of it.
And up north, up
Yeah.
south. We're down south, innit?
Yeah, we're
Down
south.
north, innit?
It's up
Yeah,
north.
they up north, they're all lovely.
Yeah.
Mancunians, Liverpool,
Yeah.
Geordie, Scottish. They're all so nice.
It's that feeling. It's like it's
What about
the
the West Country? No, I'm
friendliness.
joking. I'm joking. Go on, sorry, Kat.
No, it's that friendliness that they
Yeah.
it's just like you'll pass people on the street and they'll say hello. It's that kind of vibe.
we don't
That I
have
do
that down
kind
here.
of miss.
Well, we
Not
used to.
No, but there is like
Pockets of
friendly, yeah, pockets of it. That's a good way to describe.
There
But it's
is.
not like oh, this is a big city full of it.
Everywhere, yeah.
But there are pockets of it, and that's
Yeah.
important to hold on.
Yeah,
to.
definitely
The
is.
negatives are of
The negatives.
Newcastle, or
This-
if there are any.
There's not as much like happening. Like when I was there, I felt that it was small, and maybe that's because I already felt like I knew most of it. Like I was like, oh well, I know what these streets have to offer. I know what these buildings have to offer, and you kind of get like, I don't know, you get kind of like in a routine, a bit bored of it, yeah, and you like want to search for new places. But I think you start to like understand now that you could like build new things in the same place, and like new things are popping up all the time. It doesn't need to be like a constant casino where there's like here's this new bright shiny thing that you've not touched before. But yeah, I would say that, and then I guess you feel like kind of far out of the city, like where I live anyway, because there's like more in like a village kind of vibe. It's like 40 minutes away from the city. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because it's like you need to always like bus it in to like travel, like to get there. But then also like you've got like countryside, like if you go 15 minutes the other way, which is quite cool now you look at it, like you're in between both things. I guess it's just the feeling of that you're in something small. Doesn't need to be that, but it's more your mentality when you're there, when you know it. Yeah, I guess it would be that.
Yeah, because even myself being born and raised in London,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like London's that
Do you feel it small?
yeah,
Really?
100%. You're always looking at it externally, thinking,
Grass is always greener kind of vibe.
that's,
Yeah.
that's the thing always.
So when you go to a new city, do you feel like, oh, this has so much more, even if it's smaller than
Yeah,
London?
yeah, I do. Even when I
Okay.
go to a Newcastle or a Liverpool or a
Yeah.
Manchester, you're just like, oh wow, this is
Got it.
it's so relaxing. I
Yeah.
can
I've seen it
relax
before.
being myself.
Yeah, because you've seen the stuff before, that's why.
Yeah.
You've seen it before.
Yeah. True. It's the brightness of it, I guess.
I was just
Yeah.
posting on the thing in the middle of the interview. I do apologize.
Oh no, it's fine.
Say, hey! Sorry.
No, it's fine. Go for it.
I want to go back to these questions. Sorry, Kate.
You're fine.
You know, like, this whole social media thing is crazy, you know?
Yeah, it's demanding, but it's like
Very.
I've heard it's worth it. Like when it takes off for people.
Everyone says this, everyone will tell you it's worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, everyone says it's worth it, but you know what's worth? You know what I find is worth it about it? Like these things here. This show, this fella, seeing the voice behind the camera, I haven't seen for a minute, but he's here, he's part of the family,
Yeah.
he's always here in my heart, and he's always here in spirit. It's helped so much.
Yeah.
It's helped so much. It's broken the monotony. It's broken down that same boredom. Like I was working last night, I'm working tonight. I'm here right now, and I just
Yeah.
like once we warmed up, I'm like, way.
Yeah,
You know,
more
it's
energy,
really,
like,
it's really
you get
nice.
to speak and actually say what you want and communicate with someone, whereas like a lot of the time in our jobs or whatever, we don't really get to do that. You're like quite limited to the same conversations again and again and again.
Precisely.
But here you're like, oh, I can ask this question, or like I can answer this and actually be real and honest and have like an open connection with someone. I think that's what's important. Like
It's the open connection.
Yeah,
It's the open
yeah.
connection. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've known you and we've spoken. You've been at that thing, you've come to the event.
Yeah.
And even though we're on camera now, I think this is the deepest we're going to get to talk because it's just me
Yeah.
and you. Apart from the wizard.
Yeah.
It's Batman, but it's just me, you know. And I
Yeah.
can, like you said, I can ask questions that I didn't get to ask before. It's a bit more intimate. I can
Right.
get to know you.
Yeah.
Give reaction, get some of your energy, and it's just so. For me, it's been so nice because everybody that I speak to, every human that's coming through the studio, has been an amazing person and it's been a wealth of information and knowledge. And I mean, just to put in perspective for you. You brought back Rambo to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, you brought
The
back Rambo,
tadpole.
yeah, the tadpoles. My mum was used to cuss. Why are you going, what is, why are you bringing this in my house? What is this? Why are you, and it should be cussing to my sister. I don't know what's wrong with that boy. Really, like, but it just reminds me of childhood. Like,
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful, like that. Your memory ignited my memory. It's like
Yeah,
an electrical thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Beautiful. I could go out like tomorrow and like every day I've got issues. Everyone's got stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But that just takes, and that's what I'm saying, this just helps. It just helps. It's almost like you put an orb in this here, and the
Yeah.
orb of the nonsense fell like that. You know, all the bullshit, all that just dropped out of the
Yeah.
pillow. And I don't mind losing that one. I don't
Exactly.
mind losing. I'd love to be able to lose all those shit ones.
Yeah, me too.
All right,
Like
so
the pick.
I'll ask you these 3 questions, and then we've got more questions. You can ask me some questions.
Yeah.
Really would love for you to do a poem.
Yeah, I would like
Really would
to.
love to do a poem. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you get yourself ready and all that, we get you to do a poem as well.
Cool.
And then the wizard might have some more questions for you.
Sweet.
And then just going over my notes. How important is connections, fiction,
It's like a
modern
fun
day
therapy
changes.
session with the
Yeah, modern day changes. Okay, so if you died now, which we don't want you to,
No.
we don't want you to, would you be content?
I don't think someone like me will ever be like content. I think I was chatting about this with a friend who's like similar kind of personality. I don't think we get to experience like full contentment. Like we're always like, oh, how can we create more? How can we build more? How can we do this thing? And because we're so like, I don't know, we're wanting something, we always like kind of think we can make it better, or we can like achieve more. Like we have this idea of like greatness and things. I don't think I'll ever like reach a point where I'm like, oh, I'm fully completely content. And I think now at this moment I've still got so much like on the horizon that I want to achieve when it comes to like creativity, when it comes to sport, when it comes to like life with like my partner, with my family as well. Like there's so much that I still want to do that it's like, you know, like it's not like if it was to end now, I feel like I'm like half finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah. I want to ask you this question, but now I want to ask you about your partner.
Yeah.
I mean, what's next for you?
Wait, for this question or?
Yeah, no, this question. No. We're gonna have babies. Now we're flying to here. We're gonna take over the world. So I'm so sorry. No, what's next for you?
For me.
You, Kate Griffin, as an artist, as a human being, as a jiu-jitsu soon-to-be master, as a beautiful person, as a great entity, as a nice energy, as a good friend,
I think
as a creative writer. Let me add that.
Yeah. As a writer, I definitely want to, like, my focus is to get published because I've got so many stories ready, and I think they're things that I know a lot of people resonate with. There's things that like my heart and soul are in, and I really want that collection published. So that's like so on my radar now. That's a big focus. And then like when it comes to poetry, I think like just sharpening like what I'm doing, like being able to create more, have fun with it, but also learning from people that I know do it excellently, and like spending time around them to study how they do this, and be able to work on feeling, and like how am I gonna put feeling into like that message? How am I gonna work on like my confidence so I can convey it in a way that I really enjoy and like other people are gonna enjoy as well. Yeah.
So important.
It is.
I'm not saying anything, but
And then jiu-jitsu, I would like to keep practicing with the idea of like going into a competition maybe in like July or like summertime. I'd like to compete, and then like just test myself and see like, oh, what have you actually learned? How can you like get over those kind of mental hurdles that stop you doing certain things? Like how can you be challenging your body and also challenging your brain so that you're present when you actually show up to them, and not getting like stunted by the fact that there's people watching you, or you feel like, oh, you might disappoint someone. Like just being there and like actually like challenging yourself on that. And like on a personal level, doing like a bit more sort of traveling this summer, that'll be really nice, like within the UK, maybe abroad, but definitely in the UK as well.
where have you been?
I'm gonna go to
No, where have you been?
Oh, where have I been? I've been to Portugal kind of recently, that was this year. Last year I went to Morocco and Italy with a friend.
Nice.
And then I've been to like on like shorter trips to like Berlin, Amsterdam, and
What are you talking about? You done a bit, Europe, mate.
yeah, I've been to quite a few
You got
places.
Africa there as well.
Yeah, I've been to Uganda before as well. Yeah.
I've been to Morocco. What is Morocco? What's the name of it?
It sounds like I've been everywhere.
Morocco, Italy,
Spain,
Spain,
Germany,
Berlin.
yeah, Uganda, like
Uganda.
So, yeah, quite a few. But yeah, I want to do like me and my boyfriend are going to Cornwall. We're going
What's your boyfriend's
for
name?
my Echo.
Echo.
Uh-huh.
Big up Echo! Come on! Yeah! You got a winner! You know. Go ahead.
But yeah, we're going for my birthday for like a small trip, and then we were like, you know what, if we like it there, which I'm sure we will, because I love to be around like beaches and water, like just to be around water like always makes me happy. So I was like, then in like maybe the end of June or July, we're gonna go for a bit longer, maybe like a month or something like that.
Nice.
And spend some time there, and maybe like some Scottish Highland kind of trips would be nice as well. I was thinking, yeah.
Still about Echo.
About Echo, we met through jiu-jitsu.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Wait. So was you watching each other? Was you rolling around with each other?
Yeah, we was like partnering, like so we were
Okay.
working with each other, and like we'd met in like a no-gi kind of class, so not wearing like the robes, you just wear like normal gym clothes, and we both like that kind of style, and like we'd always like kind of partner with each other when we were in class, and we became friends for like a long time.
Hey, go on, carry on.
But we became friends for like a long time, and then like we started to like kind of like each other, and I went to one of his gigs because he was he's like a rapper and he does guitar and stuff as well.
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, no,
I'd love to meet him.
It'd be cool for you to meet him for sure.
Maybe you can perform at the show at one time at some point.
He might be up for it. Like I think he's wanting to perform in like certain like places like to where he can like film it, because I know his focus is more getting out an album. But like I know that he would be like, he's performed at a lot of gigs before and he does enjoy performing.
We can film him in there.
Yeah.
Remember, we can film. You know,
Yeah,
you can film.
yeah.
You can
I'll
film good in
film him.
there.
I
You
think
can film
he
really
would
good in
be
there.
good. Yeah.
Really good in there. All right. So I know I'm gonna let you talk about him and stuff because we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But I can't. This is the reason I sound like this. So you know when you not be getting it on, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have any jiu-jitsu in the men's room? Like? That's why I was like, well, and I dropped it. I was like, okay. So you like, you like, come here. No, I said, come here, baby. Like, give me some. He's like, no, you won't give me some.
I feel like you put specific jiu-jitsu moves on in like a bedroom kind of scenario. I think being an athlete makes you more, I don't know, like it changes how you are.
You know. Yeah, okay.
But you're not like, here's this arm lock in it.
Yeah.
But like, I think being an athlete does like change how you are in that
bless
kind
you.
of sense.
What about? I know I'm fucking around here. But what about?
Yeah.
You ever be sparring? It's like, oh baby, wait till I get you home. Like in the, you know, like I'm so fucking sorry. You know, like be sparring going. I'm like, oh Kate, you look my okay. Wait till I get you home. Like, no, I can't
I
wait.
feel like
sorry.
you always like, I don't know, like when you like each other, you're always kind of like, I don't know, you feel like certain things.
The energy,
that
yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. You got me grinning and doing all this and doing all this over here now. How's it been?
In the relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like, because we've been together
about 6
properly.
months, 7 months, yeah, what?
Like I'd say like officially we've been together like 6 months, I think, since like
So it's still
October.
new?
Yeah, so it is like pretty new still.
Bless ya.
Yeah, so like, but no, it's been good because it's, this is the first relationship I've been in that's from like a friendship. And I
Okay.
think because we got to know each other for so long and like figure out who each other were and like how each other works and like what's important, and what's actually like valuable to him, what's valuable to me, I think that's a completely different energy to if I was, you know, if you just start dating someone, like as dating someone, like I feel like I got to actually get to know someone before just like before actually like
you're warning.
yeah, like you fully, it's just so
Like you're so sexy. Well, sorry, I'm an idiot. Sorry, but I love it. Very juvenile. What? Not genitalia. What's your favourite part of his body? And why?
I don't know why. That's such a unique question. I mean, I love his face. Like, he's got a pretty face. I love it. And he's got, like, 2, like, little scars, like, here, like, on the nose. And I always, like, I guess, like, I'm specifically, like, I always, like, look for those scars. I don't know why. Like, if he's driving the car, like, something, like, I'm always, like, they stand out to me so much. Like, these 2 little scars, which is such a, like, it's such a partner's thing to notice that thing on someone's face. Like, it's so, like, oh, I'm, like, you're drawn in by something that's so tiny, minuscule to anyone else, they wouldn't even notice it. But when you like, it makes someone unique. And like when you start to look into it, you're like, I would know you anywhere, like just from like having this like tiny detail about you. I think it's that.
Right, I'm gonna leave Echo alone. Echo, baby, come on. I'm gonna leave her alone. I've got 1 or 2 more questions because I'm gonna leave her alone. Has he met your mum?
Yeah.
Has he met your mum?
Yeah.
How did that go?
She loves him. Yeah.
Oh,
she really likes him. Like she met him once when she came down to London, and then like he came up for Christmas as well and spent a few days at Oz and that. He bought us some like plants for Christmas. It was very cute. Like when like you have someone like you actually like meet with like family and things like that. It takes on a different level where you, like you welcome them into your normal and then you show them everything about like, oh, this is where I was raised. Like this is what's important to me about like hometown, family, all this sort of thing. But yeah, like they've met and they really like each other, which is nice.
Oh, that's so nice. What should you I'm a hopeless romantic. I feel like that since I was young. But the current climate of the internet, like it kind of like, you know, it doesn't upset me or whatever. It makes me skeptical as for the future of romance.
Me too.
Like,
Yeah.
but no, you've reignited me, and there's still
Yeah.
romance out there. Just because you're
Yeah,
seeing these
yeah.
small pockets of nonsense, there's people falling in love, introducing people to their parents,
Yeah.
taking pride in their body and everything, and not
Yeah.
just giving it away and just
Yeah.
having that, you know, like meeting a friend and doing the whole, you know, it's just, yeah, it's just really,
Yeah.
it's just nice. Because poets, well, I'm really romantic. I can't help it.
Yeah, I think we naturally like quite are, and I think like same as you, like I was completely like disheartened, like I unmotivated by like the dating kind of like environment.
Yeah.
Like I just hated the shallowness of it because I think you get so looped into certain circles where like you can just be treated like you're like kind of nothing. Like people, even if you're like the most shining kind of gem, like people can treat you like you're nothing or you're not like worthy of a relationship.
And that's
or
on
whatever.
them, yeah.
And I don't like the like online dating kind of space. Like I was in it for like quite a while, and I'm
Did
like,
you?
yeah, and
I couldn't do it.
I hated
I
it.
tried it, but I couldn't do it.
Because I'm like, you try it because you're like, oh well, maybe like maybe you want to find connection that you're not finding like in like the current spaces where you are. But you always end up having like the same experience like multiple times. Like you go on like a first date and it's kind of like a repeated first date because it's always that kind of like same. Just initial level
that
of
speed
small
dating.
talk
Like,
and-
the speed dating. No, I totally understand
yeah,
that.
some people have the checklist. Some people are just like, I don't know, they kind of want to like breeze through it and sort of things. And there's this famous woman, I can't remember her name, but like she was expressing that in a relationship, you get to live like multiple lives because you get a partner where you get multiple experiences with them and everything is kind of new because you get to see them in different lights in different situations. Whereas when you're dating, even though you're with like different people, dating different people, you're living like the same life multiple times. You're living the same
Like Groundhog
experience
Day, innit?
multiple times. Yeah, it's
Groundhog
Groundhog
'cause
Day.
You're learning them.
Groundhog Day.
You're holding back. You're doing this. You're doing
Yeah.
it. And it really is. It's the preliminary stages over and over and over
Yeah.
and over again.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want someone just to know you're not feeling good, or know you're feeling good, or know you need to text me. How you
Right.
doing? You just want that, but you can't
Yeah.
get that from someone you just met because they don't know you.
Exactly.
And they don't know what you're up to and other thing.
And you don't want to
So-
like jump in too fast, but also like, I don't know, it's such an eggshell kind of place where you're just like walking on them, like you don't know how to like fully connect with people, and it's like because you're in spaces where you're like, oh, we should connect, but we're not. There's always like a distance, or there's always a
And
gap.
you want to connect sometimes, you know, like I'm not even talking about my status, but there's been times when I've been out there,
Yeah.
and you just want someone to hug, someone to sleep with,
Yeah.
not fuck,
Yeah.
someone to sleep with, someone to
Yeah.
hold, roll over, do you want breakfast, just someone to be there, you know,
I know
someone to talk to, someone to, you know, like to vent to at the end of a work day, or
Yeah.
to say, come on, let's watch this program, or something,
Right.
or even laugh at something, you know, like,
Yeah.
and the desire for that sometimes could. You go through that Groundhog Day. Like, I tried the Tinder thing. I tried I tried what other ones are there? Tinder, Bumble. Mate, none of them.
Yeah.
I've never ever met anybody of any of them.
Really?
Really, because I don't know what it is. I think God just says, nah, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Because if you go down this way, it's not me. People like you should be corrupted. Like,
Yeah.
So I could never get past the conversational stage. I never had that. You know, whoever I'd be talking to, there wasn't an engagement in the conversation. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. I need
People
to see
feel
your
very
beauty.
dead through text as well. And like some people it's just text for ages, and then you're kind of like you need to like feel something with someone. And I think that's such a good thing about meeting people in person. Like in whatever community you like, I think is finding your person in there. Like I much rate that over dating apps any day. Like whether it's like a poetic community,
Old
whether
school.
it's like whatever your hobby is, or like even a workplace thing. I always used to be like, oh, I would never like go for someone in the workplace or go for someone like close because I was scared of like, oh, well, if it's ruined, then everything's ruined. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to
But-
face them all day and all that.
Yeah, but now I'm kind of like, I think people make so much better bonds when they're actually in that community. You get to know them
Constantly.
before, and then it's not just like, oh, we're dating, so now we go through these stages. Like you gradually just get to know someone. If you like each other, you like each other.
Yeah.
But finding
seeing
that
them regularly.
connection through something where you actually get to see who what their character is, and if it's like creative space, you get to see them challenge themselves and who they are and how they put themselves out there and what's emotional to them as well, like what's core. Like that's such a good place, I think, to find people. And
Yeah,
meet
triggers and all them things as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you mind? I think I've got one more question on my cards. Would you mind kind of like preparing yourself
For
some
poem.
poetry, yeah. Some poetry.
Cool.
And that's going to be, I think I've got one more question here. I'm not
Cool.
sure. I don't know if I answered it. I didn't answer it. No, I asked what's next year. Oh, no, I haven't asked it.
Okay.
I think the answer's going to be me. No, I'm joking. I know for you it's me. And for me it's you, bro. It's you, bro. What's your biggest inspiration?
Oh, that is a hard.
It's a hard question. Like, your biggest inspiration, when you think about it, like, you know, like, I think my biggest inspiration is people. And positive people like you, like him, like people that I love, that I know are serious. That's my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
Because I meet shit people.
Yeah.
Like I see, I'll be like, you want to train? Yeah, I train, but I don't. Yeah, but I see people putting obstacles in front of themselves. So when I see someone like you, I'm a workhorse. I'm never be satisfied. I'm gonna do more. See people like this guy, the stuff the wizard does.
Yeah.
The reason I call this guy the wizard, because he does magical things. Don't get it twisted. Please, at home. His name came from the beginning of the show. He is a wizard. He's phenomenal. He's a warlock. He does things I don't think are possible. So I call him the wizard. Right? And I love this guy. And I love you too, Jay. Right? Yeah. I love you, wizard. Come on. It's real, bro. That's why I call you the wizard. So those are the things that keep me going. I digress. I don't even know which was going. These are that's my biggest inspirations. Positive people, work hard. Like, you're a woman and you do jiu-jitsu as well. You're just killing me with everything. But that's my inspiration. So what would your biggest inspiration be in your life?
Not to like copy your answer, but it is quite similar.
No,
in the sense of, yours the same.
No,
it's like, mine the wizard.
Wizard! You inspire everyone with it. I told you, it's a spell he's cast across the land. Seriously.
But I guess it is just people who I'm like, I see them being determined, and I actually see them saying that they have a path and trying to walk on that path. Like, obviously obstacles are going to come up along the way for that path, but seeing people who constantly try to show up and like go for their journey, like, and also being just the resilience of them, like human resilience is such a huge thing for me. And I think that's why I get drawn to things like jiu-jitsu and why I get drawn to things like creative arts. Like, they don't seem to have a connection like martial arts and like creation, like writing, but it's a lot to do with like, these are just surrounding platforms for resilient people who don't give up on their thing. Like, they just keep trying different avenues, they keep trying different movements, trying different ways to communicate or put themselves out there. And even though it's like a process of being knocked back, they just keep
enhancing
keep enhancing it. And you can take breaks. Like, the people that I admire, obviously, like, they take breaks for themselves, but they still come back to it. They still come back to, like, even if this is not their passion, if they're like, do you know what, I'm done with like this certain passion, but I've not given up on life, I'm just going to take a completely different avenue and I'm going to hit it again and harder. And that's the kind of energy that I kind of like to see. That's the kind of thing that makes me like fueled to try again, because like, your life's not stopping, so you need those people around you to be like, how can I not stop as well?
Don't stop till it stops.
Don't
stop till it stops. Don't stop till you get in there. Come on. Did it not stop? Oh, sorry. I was not going to play that then. Kate Griffin.
Yeah.
Would you mind giving us some of your amazing poetry, please?
Yeah.
What are we doing for time?
120.
120, yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's all yours.
Okay, perfect.
When you're ready, I might even close my eyes.
Yeah, I do. Cool. It's like being at a show. This one is called My Mother Who Eats Light. You can be a swallowed sun. Make mines and medals. Get in your zone.
You can talk.
Make mines and medals, then deny the gold you've spun. You can be a herbal healer. Shaman of creation, then retreat into the ether. You can wear calluses like braille on your hands. Employee of saintly modesty, your patience withstands. You can eat the moon, then clean the craters off your canines. Brush off ones that compliment, comparing you to fine wines. You can reject the fact that you are beautiful, that you possess the divinity of a community in just a line of your cuticle. You can say your heart wasn't made from real things, dirt and dust and magic embers, like you're only a gift that should be acknowledged when someone remembers. You can craft your shell and call it pretty, a mosaic cocoon. Still, there's no denying your brilliance is the elephant in the room. You can say you're just somebody's someone, but it's mothers who have made me. If you didn't teach me kindness in class, then how could I be a lady? You can shrink into a melting pot of a city that stirs, act like brittle bones or meat just chopped, but you're not part of the herd. I get misheard when I tell you you are made to be spoken. You are gold on jade scripture, should be read in the open. You are monolithic holy preacher. Just because you're not a man in robe doesn't mean you're not a seeker. Doesn't mean you're not meant to find your own paradise. That the only reason I'm alive is to shake off your parasites. So you can silversmith, gravel, mud, bejewel the elementals. So you can wear Saturn's ring like a necklace. Just embrace the new potentials. You have done your shifts of plait and hair and listening to my choices. I'm calling on you, drop the shield and see what your rejoices.
Nice. Nice. You have your style. I love your style.
Thank you.
Like, I'm sure you have different styles that you do. I think I've heard you say it different. But this reminds me of, like, it's not old, but it's like classic.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, and and that's why I learned stuff like the classics, like I don't know, Rudyard Kipling, Edgar Allan Poe, and all that kind of stuff. But yours is more. It's just beautiful, and I could just see the vivid pictures. What did you say? Shake off parasites. There's stuff you said. I want to watch it back afterwards. But yeah, it had me away, and I'm glad I closed my eyes. It was really nice, really nice, really nice. Thank you. What kind of emotions do you allow to come out? And then let me just say, for me, you know, like when you got a TV, them old TVs, and you're tuning it in, and you get the clear picture. You're like a couple twists away from what you were trying to achieve within when you're performing your poetry and the energy you give out and being true to yourself. And we are in a very relaxed atmosphere and environment here. But with the poetry done here and the one you've done at my show as well, you're just a little bit away from it. And I think this is for you, and all the poets out there as well, and for myself. We have to believe in ourselves and almost be as arrogant as the late great Bernie Mac.
Right.
And like be like, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Like, and just really just do what you wrote and what we came to do.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Opposed to whatever we receive from the audience. God bless the audience, and I need the audience to listen to me. But I also need to be me, or you need to be Kate Griffin. Exactly how you felt. And if you wanted to cry, if you needed to pause for almost a minute and a half, you pause for a minute and a half. Do you know what I mean? And you just do it.
It's that learning to be comfortable in the space as well, because you're kind of like, oh well, I've got this, so I should go through this at this time. But like, there's a lot of people where they are just like that confident on stage that they're like, oh, I've forgot this. Wait, let me. Like, they'll go on without the phone. They'll be like, wait, give me a minute, and then they'll get it. Like something like that. It's like
there's more than that. There's like, I watched DMX just yesterday, and you know he's dead and everything, but he was like, they were talking about his performances, and I'm trying to learn from all different places. He was like, when I go on the stage, like, I perform, but like, I know this might be my only chance. That's why I perform. You lot might never get to hear me again. There might be people in the room that don't see again. So I've got people's ears, so I'm gonna abuse it. He said, I'm gonna abuse it. And I think that's what we need to do. Like, you know, like they are there to listen to us.
Right.
Do what you came to do.
And
this is me learning through you and with you, and learning through everything that's going on. We have to, as artists, abuse the time we have on stage. Because we may never get the time again. We may never get those people's ears again. You may not have that, you know, the energy you have within your material. Like when you actually going out on, I think Sir Laurence Olivier said it, a good actor will go out on the most skinniest of branches and maybe fall and die, but not because the same, like the firework thing. Same kind of thing. Be the firework and explode. Like, I'm happy I exploded. I want to go halfway up and
got you.
Do you get me? That was a great poem. Sorry, you got me just blabbering all over.
It's good. It is good to know and have that as well, because there is like, even though I'm doing it more, there's still like a little bit in myself that's like, oh, you're like pulling it back. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're still reined in a bit, but I think like it's on the journey of like, the more I do it, the more I like accept what I can be, and like just accepting the idea of yourself as being something that could be great is like it is daunting, weirdly.
Very
Because like it's
daunting.
also like you want to be great, like you're scared of not being great, but also this fear of actually being great because then it means you've got responsibilities to uphold.
Be
to
great
always
again,
Be great.
be
Yeah,
great again.
yeah. So
And
I think it's like that kind of thing where you're like, oh, what if you like do this and you're not good enough, or what if you do this and you're good and then you actually have to be good from
It's
like
our own,
commit to
all our
be
own
good.
pantomimes in our head.
Yeah.
And for me as well, it's like, what if I do it? It's just like, what if they say this or what if they say that?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've got, like, as everybody, you've got moments where you're like, I've been really down. And I want to say, like, I'm down, I'm
yeah.
broken, I'm this, I'm that, and
Yeah.
that. But to be honest, to go on a stage and honestly say that and not care about what comes back,
Right.
that's so hard, Ken.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is what we're fighting ourselves. And that's
It's
exactly
true.
what
Yeah,
you said.
it's the self war. It's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's just like,
Yeah.
I know you can do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it too. Give me some.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him. We're
Yeah.
gonna get him. We're gonna
No,
get him.
we
We're gonna
will.
get him. You got enough
Feel
for
it. I do, yeah. I might like this is one that's longer. I
No
think I can
problem.
remember it, but
No,
yeah.
problem.
if
You
not,
got
I'll
it. You got it written down anywhere?
yeah, it's on my phone, but I'll.
You just do your thing. If you just go back, we're filming. This is TV. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Immortality. We can rewind and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fine. Yeah,
Don't
fine.
worry about it. You do your thing, baby.
All right, cool.
Go ahead.
This is called Arsonist of You.
Arsonist.
Arsonist. Yeah.
You're burning shit down.
Yeah.
I'm on.
You're an arsonist of you. You've made a fire out of your flesh suit, gone hot core walking just to see what the world would do. I have no patience for you, giving away our fingernails for buy a drink tokens. You're wearing petroleum in all of your devotions. It isn't easy to admit that you're insecure. Why have a wall there when you can have a door? But when anyone tries to walk through, you start peeling off the paint. You splinter and lock, see everything through a screwed up fusion of self-hate. So you pull back, get distant. I hate you because you throw away all our convictions. When was the last time you said what you meant and owned your predictions? It doesn't take a fortune teller to see that your lack of boundaries have caused your own conditions. I watch you with a splayed open chest, with your heart in your hands, ignoring your feelings like you're living on someone else's plan, but nobody gets to make a blueprint of you. There's a map of your life, no one else in the queue. When did you let this world make you so soft that you'd lie down with wolves and think you were the animal? That you'd give all your time to a corporate cannibal, curling into something that should be devoured by Hannibal? Look at you, taller than a skyscraper, but none of the stability. Here we go again, knocking on new doors to appease old fragility. When are you gonna let you take care of you the way you do those lost souls you see? Aren't you just another one walking around denying your own capabilities? Allowing small self-robberies so you can see what it is to confront a burglar. You're a self-murderer, unzipping your skin to keep somebody else warm. You probably put it on a hanger, sewed the label in your own neck, cleaned the bed you bled in. It is an unusual sin to forget you too are a blessing. Loving you must be disastrous disarmament. The more you think about it, the worse you feel about the locks where your heart is. Throw away the crossbows and you're still looking at militant bombardment. Just to know you feels like hard work, and that's why they don't want the half of it. Get a bit closer and they get tired of the preview of someone who's always given their soul away for fresh bread, giving their heart away, it's not Lent, grating off your skin for the decadent, then complaining when they ask for more, when more has always been promised in your much too courteous outpour. I hate you for making us feel like our makeup isn't something to be won, like we don't have a golden soul spooled straight from the sun, like it doesn't crawl out of our mouths to bless beauty unto those we love, and every time it speaks like it tries to do so like it's something from above. And I'm saying this to slap some sense into you. You kicking yourself in the ribs because somebody else's legs couldn't do it hard enough. You sure that you're good enough is just a good bluff. You need to hold my hand sometimes. You need to stop throwing us off the cliff so that we've got time to become a landmine. I'm all up for going flames, but we're not a dwindling match or a glum cigarette in the hands of a mismatch. We're made to be a bit more than that. If we're going out, it's in a cannon. It's in a burst of colours, leave the pyros in their famine. I want to be a bright light set alight bigger than sunlight. I want you to be it with me. Come, let's stop fighting. Together we can burn through this whole city.
Beautiful.
Thank
I was
you.
still. I would have been here. I would have been here. That.
Fawole.
Yeah, what's the? Give me that sunlight line again, please.
Oh, wait. Going back, sunlight. Bright light set alight bigger than sunlight.
I'm a bright light, set light bigger than sunlight. Do you know how bright sunlight is? Oh shit! Oh man, here. The 1, 2, 3. Come on. I enjoyed that. I was gone for a minute. That was nice. That was really nice. That's what I love about poetry, you know.
Takes you somewhere else, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you allow it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you allow it to.
Moment.
Wow.
No, it's a completely different vibe to the other one.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to ask a question?
I wanted to say, I feel like your poetry is very, imaginative?
Like picture painting, I feel like I try and do like a lot with like imagery and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Where I find like a lot of poets tend to not just, but have like real life kind of, just real issues kind of.
Got you, yeah.
Yeah, yours is kind of like a fantasy where you can be kind of almost taken away. That's what I think.
I feel like, because I think that's why when I started, I was almost like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to fit in poetry. Because I was kind of like, I see people with spoken words and it is cool, like they'll write things about like real things that are happening. But I think because of how much I like fiction, I always go into like, oh, but what about this fantastical thing? Or like, what if this could happen? And I like the imagination that I can put in with emotions. And I like combining them both.
You're mixing both of them, so it's
the real and like a what if,
Picture words, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I think there's I don't think there's any negatives in poetry. I think it's self-expression, so they can never be whatever everyone's doing. There's no negatives. It's their style and stuff.
Right.
However, I do appreciate the your style and a style where people paint a picture with, even though they've got an emotion to get across, they still paint a picture. There's a lot of people that will say stuff. There's nothing to do with this stuff, but it brings you. It's just crazy. So there's abstract. There's like yours. I would never say it, but I would say landscape, because like you said, I could see the whole. Like I could see stuff you were saying. I could see it.
Yeah.
Like the first poem. When you said shake away the parasites, I was like, look, I can see your poetry.
Got it. Yeah.
You know, where some other people's poetry, it's like, it might be, oh yeah, that happened to me, or that happened to me. It's a different emotion. I still see it, but it's a different thing. Like I identify with it. Like there's all different things in poetry. It's just so fucking wide and so beautiful. Excuse my French, no one swearing. Yeah, I think I can learn a lot from you, Kate.
Hey, thank you.
I believe I can learn a lot from you, Kate. Yeah, I believe I can learn a lot from you. I've learned a lot from you so far since the first time I met you at Lexi's event, because you struck me as a poet that does exactly what the wizard says. And like when you spoke, I could understand that you had classical training, or just the way you wrote was like that. If you didn't have it, it came out of you naturally. And it appealed to me. Then you also have an inherent confidence about yourself, and you also have a regality about yourself. You carry yourself very, very well. These are all things I've noticed about you over the course of time with me, working with you, talking to you. You come to the event and here as well today. Your intellect is beautiful. Your humility is lovely. You know what I mean? You've got this. Even though you're a Geordie, I'm sorry, you've got this Scottish rose thing going on for me. Like I can't get it out of my head. Like seriously. Yeah. It's just nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any questions for me or the wizard, or anything you want to talk about? We've still got some time.
Yeah, I would like to ask you more about like, I know you said like you wanted to make your event because of like you wanted a space where you could like perform in the way that you actually liked, so you could like tailor it and stuff like that. But was there like a specific incident that kind of made you think I need to make my one because of this, or like I don't know what caused it? What was the catalyst? I guess.
Okay, so I went to a few different events, and I don't talk ill about anybody or anything, because anything could be happening at an event. But some events are cliquey and some aren't. And I had a desire to share my poetry, a desire to be out there, a desire to experience my third space.
Yeah.
And poetry saved my life. Poetry helped me get through stuff. It's therapeutic and stuff. So work is one space, family is another space, and this will be my third space.
Yeah.
So when I've gone to these places, and I've put my name in the hat, like I've been given a slot, and then I've got a slot, but you're told a certain amount of time. It happened about a few different places in the same month or 2 months. Give a certain amount of time, and like my poems are short. My poems are never long. This is for me. It doesn't matter if it's short or long. You got one poem. So I've got like poems that are like, I don't know, a minute, 90 seconds, like 30 seconds, whatever.
Yeah.
People are going up and doing like 5-minute, 8-minute poems, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's different places. I want to do 2 poems. I've got 8 minutes, or 4 minutes, 5 minutes. My poems are like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, no. Can I do one poem? You're gonna do one poem. You're gonna do one poem. I'm not gonna go there with an energy. I'm gonna argue with anybody or anything like that. But I was like, it kind of crushed me a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you got someone go on stage and they start saying, when I was 5, I did this and blah blah and blah blah.
Yeah.
Telling the whole life story,
Rambling before.
and then they do a poem that's like 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, I want to go on stage.
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect the other artists, but I don't mind them having that time. I just want a bit of my time.
Have your time too.
And
Yeah.
it never seemed to happen. And like the hosts, like a lot of hosts were more about themselves and
Right.
I'm this and they want to, and when I did this and which is fine, but I never came here to hear about you, and I want to go on stage and there's
Yeah.
other people who want to perform. It's okay to have an
Yeah.
ego, but
Yeah.
like let me have a little bit. Let me just do what I came here to do, because like a lot of my poetry, like it is therapy for me.
Yeah.
It's like I'm genuinely getting stuff off my chest. Have you seen The Green Mile?
No.
Okay, so there's a film called The Green Mile, and he like, if you can watch it.
Okay.
He basically he's supposed to be an angel, or whatever, but he'll go to someone who says he's got cancer. He can suck the cancer out of them.
Yeah.
And at the end, and then he breathes out like parasites, like flies. But he just
Right.
breathes it all out into
Yeah,
the atmosphere,
yeah.
and that's because The Green Mile is supposed to be an angel. Watch the film anyway. But when I perform poetry, it's like I'm exhaling.
Yeah.
There's stuff in me that I need to get out. So if I'm not allowed to do it, and then you've also got that all that energy, the doubt, the scaredness, the this, the that, the that, the that.
Yeah.
On top of that, so I was like, fuck all that, man. Like this, you don't need to be treated like this. Do you know what?
Right.
Fine, I can't change you, but I can create something where a poet can be respected, and they can come and share whatever level. Don't matter if you're reading for
Yeah,
don't matter
yeah.
if you're fun, but don't matter whatever level you are. If you just started or you're fucking amazing and you're getting paid thousands of pounds to perform.
Sure.
The point behind the mic, you're gonna get treated exactly the same.
Yeah.
As it doesn't. I don't care whether I know you, I don't know you. Exactly the same. Your time on stage is sacred, and that's why I started the thing. Because when you go on stage, on my stage, no one ain't rushing you. You're gonna make me feel comfortable. If you don't, I'll do everything I can to make you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And even when you're performing, like, how much time we've gone over, like people can do that one. It's your time. Do your
Yeah.
thing. Don't be rushed. And that's why I started the thing. And I think that I would love to cut a profit. I haven't cut no profit or nothing from it, but I've cut so much profit. It's like energy wise.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to all the poets, to you, to everyone. I swear to God. I look back at the show, and it helps me so much, man. I don't talk too much, I'll start fucking crying. But I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, that's why I started it, because we all got a voice and we all need to be heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's certain people's, it's the onus is on certain people to do it. Because I don't give a shit. I'll walk in the room, you shut up, listen to that person, I've got that energy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll do that for everyone else, and then everyone can be heard.
Yeah.
And I'll be respectful. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I started. So everyone can just do their thing in it, come and enjoy it, and have
Yeah.
a nice, safe space. Like that's what the food's there, everything. It's just let everyone come, just enjoy the love, because we're all gonna die at some point.
Yeah.
But not everyone's living, and I do love all the other poetry events. I just like, there's some that are really warm. Everyone does what things how they want to do them. It depends on their location, their money, and all that. But that's why I started it, and that's what I want to do. I want poets to feel comfortable to come to event. I mean, to let their stuff out. To know, all the poets that come to my event up until the birthday party. Now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that out there. Are free for life.
Yeah.
You're free for life.
Which is mad.
Free
Yeah,
for
yeah.
life. So anyone who performs is free for life. That's stopping on the 16th of June. Because like I said, I do want to try and start making it pay for itself.
Yeah.
But anyone who's performed on my poetry event from April, from the beginning up until now, is free for life.
Yeah.
You're on that list. It's
Yeah.
free for life. So these are the kind of things just to do good things. That's why. Yeah, that's a long-winded fucking answer, wasn't it?
No, it's really good to hear, especially because it's coming up for the anniversary, and also like yours was like the first event I'd done in like since uni, and it was one of those ones that kind of like showed me what the poetry space could be, and like how you can be treated, like just for like you made me feel really comfortable to like go up on the stage and like actually share my things, and not being like quite new to it, being like, oh, I've just like wrote these poems and I'm not like super confident at performing or anything like that. I think that was such a necessary space for me to like have and like to go into, and to just not be rushed, to just have like the time that I wanted to take. Like you were happy with me like setting up like whatever style that I wanted, really, and that was
And you're appreciated.
important. Yeah.
You're appreciated. You're a human being. You need to be appreciated.
Yeah.
So, I want to be appreciated as well, you know. So that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm happy about it. It's cost me an arm and a leg, but like I said, what I've put into it, like when I was younger, I spent more money raving. Do you know what I mean? I spent on one night than what I was doing like in 3 or 4 months for this thing. So it's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, it's a different result.
Yeah.
And you are building like community with it. So it's cool.
I'm happy. You a question? You can ask me another question if you want. I like your questions. Hey!
What football team do you support?
What football team do I support? I don't really watch football.
Newcastle.
I mean,
Newcastle.
I would,
Newcastle.
but like, I have to say
Alan Shearer.
because we've got Alan Shearer.
I know nothing about football, you know. I know nothing about football.
Good, because I'm not like a football person.
I said Alan Shearer.
But like,
Alan Shearer, he used to play for them, didn't he? Back in the day, that's what I'm saying. That's how old I don't know nothing. Now I'm not going to Alan Shearer play football.
But like, I would say Newcastle, but I don't watch football. But like, if you're gonna ask me to pick it, it'll be Newcastle. Yeah. I don't think I could shift sides that quickly. So
What advice would you give to a young lady?
Beautiful.
To be confident. You strike me to have
to be confident.
confidence.
I think that's always something that I have like.
Good question.
I have like battles with it and stuff. So I can say it from I guess my biggest advice would be to find things that you can find value in about yourself when it comes to like hobbies and like things that require your intellect and your capability, and they're not like instant payoff things. So don't go down the path of like just like, oh, it's all about my looks, or it's all about like shallow kind of fleeting things, because they're not going to serve you at the end of the day. And like you'll get older and you'll realize that, oh, this did not help my confidence. If anything, it knocked it down.
They fade, innit?
Yeah, and they fade. They're not sustainable. But if you go into things that like they require like your mentality, they require you to like put in effort to actually like build up your worth and build up a skill or build up something that you're like, this is something that is actually it either helps yourself, it helps other people, it is creative, or it's like sporty or something like that. I just think there's such a value in having interests and like actually investing in them, and that will be where you'll find your worth. That'll be where you'll find you become better at speaking to people through doing those things as well. I think that was something I struggled with a lot as a kid and a teenager. Really didn't know how to talk to people, but through finding like hobbies and finding different ways to connect with people, that built up my confidence as well. And just knowing that I could have the potential to be good at things, and I could have the potential to like surround myself with other people doing the same thing, definitely helped me to like feel more confident in myself as well. Yeah.
Cool. Question?
I do have a question for you.
Go ahead.
So like, because earlier you were mentioning like about how important I thought it was to invest in like physical challenge and like mental challenge, and I was wondering what the difference was that you felt when you invest in like physical challenge versus like poetic challenge or like writing kind of challenge.
Okay. But no, there's still it's different. Like the sense of achievement when I write and do the poetry stuff, it gives me it's an emotional release, and it feeds what you just said. It reminds me of who I am, what I'm capable of. It feeds my confidence.
Yeah.
It helps me connect with other people. It helps me understand that, like I said, my poetry therapy helps me understand that what I'm going through may be momentary. It may be perpetual.
Yeah.
But I understand how to deal with it or not deal with what I can and can't do with it. It shows me how, I don't know if I just said this already, how relatable my stuff is to other people. Like a lot of people think they're going through stuff on their own, and they're not. Like everyone's going through the same shit. It's just how you're dealing with it. Just you sitting right next to, you'll be like, I'll be like, what's the matter? I got credit card bill. Oh, well, I got a bank charges. You know, it's the same thing. You know, like it could be anything. It could be health. It could be family. It could be anything. The physical, it helps me. It's like it helps release the pressure that's inside me. Yeah. So the physical, if I didn't do the physical, I wouldn't be able to do the mental, the poetry stuff. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Right. Okay.
Because I'd have that, as you can see, I've got a lot of energy anyway. Yeah. I'd have all that in me, and I wouldn't be able to comprehend how to release that or to control that. Once my energy is spent in the gym, I get, or even when I'm in the gym, I get very cerebral. You know? Once my body has been gone, I train hard.
Yeah.
My body's gone through a certain kind of training. I feel confident in the fact that I've done this. This hurdle has been overcome.
Yeah.
This is what I need to do next, and this is what I need to do next.
Got
So I can't fine tune my body without trying to fine tune my mind, and also now I'm trying to fine tune my spirituality.
Yeah.
And like how I deal with people, how I am with people, my frequencies, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all of those things. So I just think I look at myself, not to be a wanker or anything, like a Ferrari, right? So, and the reason I say that because high performance car. So if I got a Ferrari, like if people take care of them, you're supposed to take care of yourself, of your shit. Wash your car, polish your car, sort out the engine, sort out the oil, sort out the water, make sure the interior is nice, you know what I'm saying? Drop an air freshener in the middle. Yeah. So that's everything. That's like the writing, the reading, the being honest with myself about what I'm trying to do. Like I've got, okay, I'm gonna try and do this view, because I've got something that's coming up that I wanna do, and it's a poem. So I'm gonna do a little bit for you. I'm not doing the whole poem, I'm gonna do a little bit for you. But it's like, when I go to the gym, I have to train hard. When I do poetry, I have to push hard. I just have to do everything hard. Once I know I spend everything, I'm good. But it has to come together, like you said. There has to be that balance. I wouldn't be happy with being cerebrally okay, and then my belly's out here, and I'm feeling sick. I've got like, I don't know, like headaches because of you know, like all these physical stuff. So I can do it. So yeah, I'm so long-winded, but it's both of them are so important, and balance is really important. But you have to find a balance within yourself and what makes you tick, and how you look does not fucking matter. It only matters once you're right. That's what matters. Yeah. So like me, I need to do what I need to do for my physicality, but someone else might not need to train as hard as I train. Right. They might need to do other things, and that's okay. Yeah. Everyone's is not one size fits all. True. But the main thing, be honest with yourself. Know yourself. Look in the mirror and say, what does this benefit me or doesn't it benefit me? Am I happy when I do this, or am I sad when I do this? Like, you know, what makes me tick, and how do I get to there? And and don't let no one else tell you, no, that's not for you. Because a lot of people try to tell you, what are you doing jiu-jitsu for? Yeah. You're so lovely. You're going to ruin your body, darling. Like, no, it's my body. Leave me alone. And people always, that happens a lot in this world. So yeah. I think it's very important. I think it helps me a lot. I think it saved my life. It saved a lot of other people's lives. Like, cause you know, like just in life, I just think, it's good. I think, I need both. I need all three: spirituality, physically, and the emotional stuff as well. Yeah. But I don't. How can I say? To be honest with you, I think I'm as broken as the next person. Because I've been through so much. Yeah. And I'm honest with myself on that, but I want to be fixed, and I want to be better. And I want to help other people to feel good and be fixed if I can. Any interaction I have with you should be good. Right. Like, don't interact with me, it's fine. Yeah. Let me just go about my business, you go about your business. But if you want to interact with me, let it be nice, let it be good, let it be positive. Let me enhance you, or let me help you in some way, or add to your day, innit? Yeah. And other than that, I'll keep all the shit to myself, and I can go to the toilet. Yeah. So I don't know what's wrong with me, right? Yeah, let me give you this little bit of this poem, okay? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, do it. This little bit of poem, but we can talk some more. Thank you for asking me questions, because it's nice. I'm getting to talk a bit as well. Yeah. All right, I try and what I noticed the other day, I done Soho House for my mate, right? And I noticed something like what we was talking about. I didn't talk to the audience. I spoke to the audience, but I didn't talk to the audience. I started talking to myself, and it helped me so much more. Oh, okay. I started talking to myself. So I realised, even though this is for you, this is for me. Yeah. So I started talking to myself. I imagine like room's empty. Bernie Mac, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Right. So, but anyway, in spirit, I think I'll get whatever verse I get to, and then I'll just cut it when I want to cut it. But it's coming. You'll see it on the stage soon. It goes something like this: poetry saved my life. Believe it or not, it's true. It's a powerful medium. It's unbelievable. It's phenomenal. It's magical. It helped me get through numerous problems. It didn't help me solve them or control them, just understand. Like I said, it's magical, man. While life is tragical, man. Poetry is strategical and meaningful. Supernatural, natural, factual, spiritual, and fictional. It's heaven sent, it's elegant, it should be habitual. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have you, poetry, knowing me, showing me the way. It flows through me, into me and out of me. I shout, poetry is my life. Are you feeling me? When you look at me, what is it exactly that you see? An angry black man? Most people do. Maybe that's my self-image. Nah, it's true. I'm angry, yet I'm an artist and a human, just trying to do my best, just like you, trying to figure it out and get through this thing called life. So I write and deliver it with tact. I'm addicted to poetry like it was crack, man, or a Coke can when you crack it. Human's love is the single most greatest thing on the planet, but human hate, damn, it's strong, it's long, and it's wrong. Why do we do it? I don't know, but I know there's poetry in everything, even hate. Because if I hate, I can love, which is a gift from above, floating down on us like a feather from the wings of an angel. Let the words change you, rearrange you from angry to calm, lonely to loved, miserable to merry, worthless to worth it. Poetry is perfect. It's not only nice, it's necessary. Not only once there's been messaging me, I'll forget it there. Let's leave it there. But there's more. Yeah, there's more. It's a piece that I need to remember. I'll perform it soon. But it's just like, and I just want to just say it real and raw like that.
Yeah.
You've helped me like now, and then being with Mac as well, and being here, helped me kind of do it how I want to do it. And I want to just, like we said, just don't worry about them.
Right.
That's a bit of a mad professor there. And I want to be like that. Arcadia does that very well, Fuck, there's some great performers on the scene,
Yeah.
Some great performers that I aspire to as well, that I watch when they perform. But yeah, it's a release for me, okay? And like all the things that have happened over time in life, you get to use poetry to release it, to laugh about it, to enjoy it, to tell someone else that we're going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Like understand, so yeah.
Shared experience.
Yeah, shared experience. Maybe ignite something in the person so they can go and fight over something. Just encouragement, anything, whatever it is.
True. And how did you build on like your performance style? Because you've been an actor in the past.
Do you
feel like a lot of your performances come from like acting confidence, or do you feel like you had your own sort of journey with like poetry performance that feels different from like the acting?
It's such a beautiful, good question. Very good question. You need to be doing some interviews, I've been guilty of going like RP at the beginning of my poetry journey. My friend Carl Ramsey always set me straight, and other people set me straight to help me perform. So like I'd be like, poetry saved my life.
Right.
Believe it or not, it's true. I used to do that a lot. Yeah.
So it wasn't like in your voice.
That was in my voice. It was like I tried to perform it.
Yeah.
Perform it. And then I realised, I'm realising now more, what my voice actually sounds like.
Yeah.
And then because like, if you needed love to live, but you had no love to give, would you die lovesick, or would you live sick of love? Love me or let me be lonely. And that's a love poem, but I'll change the tones, everything's supposed to have its own tone. So now I understand, like, if I was angry, I was angry. If I was trying to like woo someone, I was trying to woo them. If I was just getting things off my chest and be like that. Now I understand that more now, but when I started off, I was doing it RP, I was doing it for the crowd. I was doing it, and then, like certain words, you'd wait for the laugh or you wait for the thing, because in your head you've written it a certain way. I'll be almost rushed towards certain words, rushed to certain punchlines where every single word is poignant. This is what I'm learning now. I need to use every single word. Every word's relevant. Every letter and every word is relevant. If you use it well, you're winning. You could have a haiku and like murder somebody. I mean, or you can have 3 pages and people just don't know what you fucking say.
True.
And this is very important. So I think I'm like yourself. I'm constantly learning. I'm still learning now. I go to poetry events and I see old talent, new talent, and I'm inspired by it. Like I said, I was inspired by your form of delivery, and I will steal that and use it for when I'm telling the story, like some of your stuff, and I will use, and it's very important. And that's how I am now. Like I know nothing.
but you can piece together from all the different styles you learn.
Yeah, when I say I know nothing, I mean, as in the age-old saying, the person who thinks he knows everything knows nothing.
Yeah.
The person who knows nothing, I'm ready to learn from anybody.
Yeah.
I know nothing. Please tell me something new. You know what I mean? And I'll take it on board. All the years I've been doing, I don't care. I can learn from you. I learn from this guy. He doesn't be a poet. Be like, would you mind doing it? We've been like that. I'm like, okay, cool. And then you see the difference, new eyes and all that. So yeah. I'm enjoying talking to you, Kate.
Yeah.
Ask me some questions. I'll actually ask me some questions, Kate. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years. Well, I definitely want to be published for short fiction, and I mean, I don't know how my poetry would look on a page. I never thought of it as a collection really, but potentially poetry, but definitely short fiction. I want to be a published author. That's huge for me. It's always been a goal. And I'd like to, just get a lot more secure in how I'm delivering poetry. I feel by that time, you've had 5 years doing it, you're just so much more confident in who you are as a creative in itself. Maybe running my own sort of creative events festival, I think would be quite cool to do something like that. I've always had that kind of in mind, or retreats or something like that where people can come and there's a community of writers, and you can build upon your craft or build upon your poetry, whatever you're looking to do. And I don't think too much in the long term. That's something I need to be probably doing more, because I'm more short term kind of goals and things, in a year or something like that. But I think I'm still crafting out what my long term plan would be, and I'm a bit flexible in it. But it's always going to be driven towards becoming better with the passions that I already currently have, and staying open enough to life that I'm not just rigidly I'm only this. Do you know what I mean? Still staying I could branch out and I could grow even more, and I can add something new, and I can become different because of that. I can build upon it. It's not just fixed
evolve
one thing. You
evolve. That's what life's about.
Evolution. Yeah.
It's about. If you don't, you be like a dinosaur. You die.
Yeah.
You don't want to die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
I was wanting to just, we're gonna kind of wrap it up now. I want to say how you're gonna write the book of fiction. I've got a book coming out, but I know the other poets have got books coming out, and I want to know your opinion on this. I'll let you know about everything. How important is it do you think it is for you to have a strategy before releasing your book? Yeah, but this is for I need to know stuff like this. Is for you poets out there that want to release books, or those who have already released books as well.
Yeah.
I'll give my take on it, but I want to ask you, Kate, what's your take on that?
Well, mine, I've definitely got the fiction ready. So it would be a short story collection. That's what I want out. And I think it is important for your strategy. From where I'm coming from, you need to have or it's ideal to have some publishing kind of history, whether you're in magazine or whether you've won a competition or something, to show that the quality's there, and there's readership for it, to show that people actually want to read your stuff, and it can be paid magazines or whatever. And then when it comes to poetry, but also fiction, I think it's good for you to have built up a bit of a network. I don't really have a big network, to be honest, which is why I should probably do more to try and grow that. But I think having your local connections, but also somehow, whether it's through social media, I think is probably the best way, to be honest. Being able to branch out so that you've got global or more further out of reach kind of connections that aren't just your immediate friends or friends of friends, people who can understand you and relate to you because of the content that you're putting out as well. Finding some way to get yourself out there so that there's actually people ready to buy it. I think for poetry, it's good if you're doing open mics, so you're kind of a regular on the scene, because then you can sell at certain open mics and stuff. But whether
your stuff, innit?
You need to go a little bit broader. But yeah, it's always I'm still figuring out how would you do it, whether it's self-publishing, especially how is the best way to do that.
Your answers have been very good though, especially for poets. I would have said this, I can't answer that because your answer was on the money. I think that was a proper answer there.
Cool. Yeah.
So, and just learn as you go on. Kate, it's been amazing.
Yeah, it's been so good to chat.
Is there anything? Show your socials, please.
Oh yeah. So my socials, I just have Instagram at the minute, and it's Kate Griffin with the words "it's," which always confuses people. But yeah, it is at the beginning.
It's Kate Griffin.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That's on everything at the minute.
And it's no thing, but you know the Family Guys, Griffins, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
I used to get.
I'm sorry, I can't just think of that, Griffin. Listen, that's been Live Talk. It's been amazing. I've had a lovely conversation with these two beautiful people. It's Kate Griffin, the wizard behind the camera. Yeah! Come on, live talk. All you got to do is listen. Remember that. Come on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, mate. Can you grab some pictures, please? Yeah, that was good.